All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to NL Media's Evening News. It is the 29th of May. Happy Monday, I believe it is. Forgive me for that. And we got a good one for you tonight. I'm your host, as it says on the bottom, team member. That's my name. We got a good one for you tonight. Tonight's episode is called Why Are Corporations Killing Themselves to Go Woke? I know a lot of you seem to think that these are just, gender studies graduates who are making really poor decisions based on their own political biases. And I mean, to some degree, that is obviously what's happening, but there's, as everything in reality, there's layers. So it's obviously not just that. And as everything in life, it's also about money because, everything leads back to money. So that's going to be our angle for tonight's episode. We know about Bud Light. We know about Target. That there's a plethora of these guys, and it's not just the ones that make it to the mainstream that we're going to talk that need to be talked about. There's a reason they're doing this, and obviously it's financial. Okay, so with that in mind, let's look at the Corporate Equality Index, the HRC Foundation. You guys are going to love this one. Fantastic stuff here. And we're going to get to this eventually leads to somewhere nefarious, as you have probably already guessed. World Economic Forum, for those of you who get upset that I have long-winded rants and I don't get to the point in time, if you just want the answer, World Economic Forum, and you can go, follow the rabbit hole from there. But for those of you that just want to, have a quick run through of what this is, take a look. Again, we'll put some links in the comments for you guys so that you see what we're looking at here. The Human Rights Campaign, the Corporate Equality Index. This is the CEI. Now, if you watch the intro, excuse me, if you watch the intro video to this stream, you would have noticed that he had acronyms that he discussed. And he didn't really go into detail. That's what I'm going to do tonight. He talked about the CEI, Corporate Equality Index, and the ESG, which is the Environmental Social Governance, and the DEI, not DEA, DEI, Diversity, Equality, and Inclusion. Okay. And these are all World Economic Forum based. Now, this one here is the Corporate Equality Index, and this is for the year 2022, okay? This is where they score cities, provinces, states, and countries on their openness to accept the LGBTQ and their agenda. They have all their reports filed and ready to view by the public. So now we're going to look at, just to give you an idea of some of their reports. Here we go. These are only American for now. At least this is what I could find on their website. So as you scroll down, it's by state, and this is how you find your city. They've got it alphabetically here. Obviously, they don't have every city in every state. They start at the top, I guess, the biggest, and go down. And they have every state listed here. I'm not going to click on any of these. But you can bet your ass that this is stuff that's happening in Canada, United Kingdom, Australia as well. It's not just the United States that they're targeting with this. That would be preposterous to even assume. As you can see, every state is here, and the majority of the cities in those states, or the main players in those states, are there. And this goes all the way down to Wyoming is the last. And this little download button here is for that city. So if you want to download the PDF off one of these cities, if you want to go find your own city, or somebody living in one of these cities, go have a look. Now, what does that have to do with corporations killing themselves to go woke? More than you would imagine. more than most people would imagine, I suspect. And it obviously has to do with money, and it obviously has to do with the World Economic Forum, like we talked about. So let's open this one up. And while I'm here, I'll put it, I can't put it in the chat to Rumble that way yet. It'll have to be after. If anyone's in YouTube, we're streaming exclusively to Rumble tonight. I think it's somewhere on YouTube. I'll toss it there for anybody who might be there. And we'll put it in the chat later for you guys. So let's look at those acronyms. We just looked at the CEI. My goodness. Now we're going to take a look at another 3-letter acronym, ESG, Environmental and Social Governance. This is from the World Economic Forum, as you can see up here on the top. I hope you can see that on the screen share. And I will zoom in a bit so we can properly read. Yes, you can see that there on the top, World Economic Forum. Make this a little bigger. Hope that helps there. So the environmental, social, and governance information about a firm or a company. There's a growing evidence that companies that take their environmental and social responsibilities seriously perform better financially. What that means is they get more funding from these places. And you notice, guys, again, these companies that are going woke publicly and seemingly shooting themselves in the foot, they're all massive corporations. Massive corporations. So environmental, social, and corporate governance, guys. This is the World Economic Forum, the leaders in evil, basically, in the world. Like, you've got the World Health Organization, and they're tied into this, which is fantastic. You'll see that too. You've got the World Health Organization, you've got the World Economic Forum. Like, these are basically the main players that most of us consider to be evil. Next 3-letter acronym that means a lot more than most people will admit to the people that control us at the very least. Excuse me. Here we go. DEI, diversity, equality, and inclusion. This again is from the World Health Organ. My goodness, World Economic Forum. So they want to embed equity and inclusion into economies and societies. Okay. So this is where I want to talk about funding. These massive corporations like your Bud Lights, your Targets, these guys play in a lot of debt, right? I don't know how much you understand about the corporate structure, but these corporations are operating in debt. And that's how the capitalism system has been working. It's nonsensical and it needs debt in order to operate. That becomes a very strange and very flimsy scenario because too much debt means something and not enough debt means something. There has to be the perfect amount of debt that has to keep operating that way, and fluctuations will affect. Now, in what we already know is an economic downturn, in what we already know is, and I'm under exaggerating here, a recession, inflation like you wouldn't believe, and it's getting worse, and it's only going to get worse with BRICS, and with the debt ceiling now in the United States. These companies need capital in order to keep operating. And who are they going to for capital? BlackRock, Vanguard, other companies that operate under those thumbs, because those umbrellas, those two umbrellas alone is like 70% of the corporations that exist. So in order to get funding, they have to what? They have to take part in this. These initiatives that the World Health or World Economic Forum has in mind to embed equity and inclusion into economies and societies, look like, okay, think about what it means to be conservative. And I don't mean Republican. I don't mean big C, Pierre Poilievre conservative. I just mean to hold traditional values, okay? The World Health the World, like, I'm going to trip over this the whole night. The World Economic Forum is committed to helping people and organizations follow through on commitments to expand opportunity for the traditionally excluded, whether economically, racially, culturally, or technologically. This is what they want. They want to increase diversity in decision-making roles. They are replacing you. Replacement theory is not a conspiracy theory. It's basically fact at this point. Look at, I mean, this, and that's the end of their little write-up on this. So the three, and if you didn't see the video in the intro, I'm wondering if I have it here to play. No, I don't. But what we do have is a 1-minute clip from the mainstream media, because one thing we like to do at NL Media here is provide a way for you to navigate through a lot of mainstream bullshit. So when the mainstream picks up on something, obviously they pick up on it and they put their slant on it, even at places that are supposed to be conservative, like Fox News. Now, obviously, we know what they actually are. But look at this. Listen to this 1-minute kind of segment from Fox on what they have to say, and consider he won't tell you the truth about finances and why it's happening. He knows Fox is going through the same thing. In order for Fox to keep operating, they have to what? Follow suit. What do they have to do? Shoot themselves in the foot. Fire Tucker Carlson. Get him off your show. He has the biggest platform. He's the reason 60% of your viewers are here. Get him out. Follow suit. So listen to this from Fox News.
I always come back to the why. Why is Target targeting kids in the first place? And I can't come up with an answer. Do you have one?
Yeah, I do. I feel like a lot of corporations right now are just put in, then that they do, then that they don't. I don't think they all want to come out with this message, but what if they're the only company that doesn't come out with this message, and then they're going to be ruined anyways? I feel like in the 2020 election, there was, the agenda was BLM. I feel like now for the new election that's going up for 2024, it's going to be LGBTQ. And if you're not with them, they're going to ruin you anyways. So, they're just going at the children. You see it with, they got drag queens in middle schools. They got these furries now coming out. That's the next thing, where people are identifying as cats. I mean, it's just crazy out here right now. But, I've been silenced. I had my free speech ripped from me. Lifetime ban on Instagram, lifetime ban on Facebook for speaking positivity. When I was an artist before this, the Degenerate rap artist, they didn't care if I rapped about negativity and, demonizing America. But, when you speak well, but I honestly think, companies like Target, you're not really sure if it's exactly what they want to do. It's like, I think they're forced into doing it because every company's doing it now. You see it every day popping up.
Now, he tried to give you an answer. The guest, the former degenerate rapper turned Christian rapper, tried to give you a clue at the very end. But you notice the Fox commentator, I don't even know what his name is, and I don't care. I keep coming back to why, and I can't figure out why they would do this. If he had an ounce of just genuine honesty in him, he would tell you. It's blatantly obvious. But he works for a corporation that's in the same scenario as Bud Light, as Target, as everyone down the line. They have to toe the line in order to get their funding. It's that easy. And without that funding, they cannot operate. They've been operating in a nonsensical, usury-based, debt-based finance system for too long. It's on its way down. We all see it. And BRICS is about to make it a lot worse. So what do? How do we hide the inflation? Well, we can purposely deflate our own companies. We're worth trillions anyways. We can just pawn off some of this nonsense, make them lose some stock, billions in stock, as if that's anything. It sounds like a win for the conservatives who've been boycotting them on Facebook. But it sure as hell isn't actually doing anything. And what do they have to partake in order to get their funding? They have to promote degeneracy. The World Economic Forum. What does the World Economic Forum have to do with promoting LGBT? Ask yourself that sincere question. What, if anything, this would be like a World Health Organization thing where they try to make it about mental health, physical health, transitioning, that whole thing. And they have their nose in this game too, obviously. And they're just generally partners anyways. But the World Economic Forum having initiatives about embedding equity and inclusion into economies and societies. And that's not the only one. Remember, there's also environmental and social governance. We just had that one up on the screen. I'm going to pop it back up quickly. They're all short. They're just very, very quickly giving synopses of what their initiatives are meant to do. But this is the kind of you understand when you're looking at these companies and you see, how could Bud Light, a beer-drinking American company, not know that going full LGBTQ with some dude in a dress on their can as a new model obviously is not a good idea. No matter where you stand politically on that issue, it's obviously not a good idea marketing-wise. And these companies take their profits seriously on their level. The people that operate them don't, because they've got billions and trillions coming in elsewhere. But internally in that company, they're striving to make every single dollar in profit. They don't just allow a gender studies graduate to come out of high school or to come out of university, same difference nowadays, and run their marketing team and run the company into the ground without anybody stopping it. That's not how these companies operate. They're not having a choice in the matter, guys. Environmental and social governance. If you don't partake in their degeneracy, their usury, their nonsense, you don't get your money. And if you've been operating in a debt-based usury economy for so long that all you have to operate on is debt, you need more. And your hands are completely tied without that funding. So when that funding has initiatives attached to it, you just have to take it. Whether you're a beer company or a shopping center, if they want degeneracy in your stores, on your beer cans, on your social media, on your employees, they will get it. And if not, you will not be funded. The World Economic Forum, not the World Health Organization, not the World Queer Association. I don't know what the hell their organization is. Not them. The World Economic Forum is the one pushing these initiatives because they are the ones providing funding. They are the ones allowing companies like BlackRock and Vanguard and a plethora of others like them to operate the way they do, which is complete monopoly, in the marketplace. To the point where those two companies alone own so much as parent companies that they can affect this kind of stuff on a national, international level. So how do you hide the fact that your country is about to implode financially? That's a good way to do it. I'm not saying that's the only reason that's happening, but that's a good way to do it. We want to hide the inflation and create our own deflation. Let's make it look like boycotts are making them lose billions, when in actual fact, they're just going to devalue their own stock because they know what's coming. There's a new world currency coming. And it's not the US petrodollar. And the United States is in their own mess right now with their own debt ceiling. it's only a matter of time before this plays out in real time. And BRICS is something that's pushing this even faster. Now they need to have it happen very soon. Because by the end of the summer, there's going to be a BRICS summit where they apparently announce their own gold-backed currency. And then 70% of the world's population is going to stop using the American dollar as their main trading source for not only oil, but everything. And then we are, pardon my French, fucked. So thank you for tuning in, guys. It's been a quick one tonight, but we covered what we wanted to cover. I appreciate you listening. We've been live on Rumble basically exclusively. I think they're somewhere on YouTube, but that'll probably get taken down anyways. So it's exclusively on Rumble. Facebook has us banned. So thanks for tuning in. And if you're not watching us live, you're checking us out in a rebroadcast. We appreciate that just as much. Give us a like and a follow and a share. And before I leave, as always, you people, you stay sovereign.